Anyway, so I will be taking over, and don't worry, he should be back next time. For now, we've got a couple things to discuss. First of all, the New York Rangers, for the first time in 4 years, naming a team captain. And for the fourth time, an NHL record fourth time, it is an American. Kind of odd in a mostly Canadian-dominated sport league. But Jacob Trouba, the hard-hitting, bone-crushing Ranger defenseman. Anybody who watched this year's playoffs learned real quick who he is. Hard for the most part. Some of his hits are borderline. He does injure people, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's trying to or they're dirty. He's just a hard-hitting guy, and kind of reminds me of Scott Stevens on the Devils. Now, as much as I hate the Devils as an objective hockey fan, you got to respect the guy. He was, every bit as much of a team leader in the locker room as Mark Messier was, and he obviously a defenseman and absolutely crushed people. If you're not familiar with the hit, two hits come to mind. Who am I thinking of? Oh, one of the many, many concussion hits, unfortunately, that on Eric Lindros, just an absolutely brutal hit. If you want to go to YouTube and at some point Google Scott Stevens hit on Eric Lindros, absolutely destroyed him. As well as, my God, the name escapes me. There's in the 2003 Stanley Cup Finals. Paul Correa of the Ducks is absolutely laid out. In any case, off topic here. So Jacob Trouba is the new New York Rangers captain. Congratulations to Jacob. And, when they named it the other day, social media kind of lit up, of course, because you can't have anything on any topic at all without social media complaining about it, specifically with the sports fans. So New York Rangers social media fans doing what New York Rangers social media fans do. They started to whine and complain. Why wasn't it Zibanejad? Why wasn't it Kreider? So I'll give you reasons why it wasn't either of them. Zibanejad didn't want it, first of all. Get that out of the way. Supposedly he was asked either last year or 2 years ago. Didn't want it. And it makes sense because if you watch his play now, he's a little streaky, and he's known to have a slow start to the season. And he gets frustrated, gets visibly frustrated. So I completely understand how he might not want that added responsibility. Now, this is a seasoned veteran, definitely one of the older guys on a very, very young team, one of the team leaders. He's going to wear the A. They haven't announced who the now assistant captains are going to be now that we do have a captain and we don't need, half the team wearing A's on their chest anymore. There's only going to be 2, maybe 3. I would assume he'll be one of them. Everybody knows what he brings to the locker room, no matter what he's wearing on his chest, so it doesn't really matter. But one moment that stands out in the playoffs, there was, I don't remember what round it was, what game it was, but he missed an opportunity and sat there on the bench staring into an iPad, just going over the play, and looked visibly upset at himself. That's fine. These guys take these things very seriously and don't like missed opportunities. And Chris Kreider sitting next to him, they're obviously good buddies, just rips the iPad right out of his hands and throws it behind the bench. It was hilarious. It was a great moment. So that right there showing that, Zibanejad was, during the game, just over-obsessing about a blown opportunity. Just goes to show one of the reasons why I don't think he would have made a good team captain. Again, everybody knows what he can do in the locker room, what he brings. So it doesn't matter what he's wearing on his chest, if anything. Which also, that moment brings us to the Chris Kreider conversation. And he seems to have been the fan favorite. Now, I didn't agree with that from day one. He had a phenomenal year last year. Let's obviously give credit where it's due. This is a 10-year vet, started in the playoffs of 2012. And so Chris Kreider last season had what you could call a breakout year. He had 52 goals, finally hit the 50-goal mark, 25 assists for 77 points in 81 games, was a plus 19, and had 16 points in 20 games in the playoffs, every bit as effective in the playoffs as he was in the regular season with the 52 goals. So people were saying, give that man the C. I didn't agree with it because this is a guy that for the 9 years prior had a serious attitude issue. This is a guy we knew right away. It's not like I don't consider this a quote unquote coming out year or Kreider has finally arrived. Well, he you can take literally, but I don't consider it the breakout year. That's the breakout year. A breakout year is not for a 9-year bet. A breakout year is a term